Here we have a new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 single rear wheel. Now this one comes in Summit White, and then we have that jet black vinyl interior. And the powertrain consists of a 6.6 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine. It's made it to that newer 10-speed Allison automatic transmission. And this one also comes with 4-wheel drive as well. So we're gonna go over some of the specs. But as we come around to the front here, halogen headlamps. I like the slightly refreshed front end. You can barely tell without that newer front end that has the LEDs like that one over there. But still you have a little bit of a difference here compared to the 23 model year. It looks just a bit more aggressive, a bit more modern. And down here we have the 18-inch steel wheels. And then over here, power door lock controls. We have one-touch automatic up and down for the driver's side window. And then we have express down for the other 3 windows. Rear window lock is here. Bottle holders, map pocket. We have an electronic parking brake. Press to engage, hit the brake, press it again to disengage. Headlamp controls, full-on 4-wheel drive there. And then we can toggle that tow haul mode by doing that. Over here, we do have a manual tilt steering wheel. There's our manual driver's seat. So seat back, seat bottom, hood release. I love this vinyl though. I love having the all-weather vinyl floors and then having this trim here, because if you're working, it just makes it that easier to clean. But over here we have all of the tow capacities and payload capacities for this particular truck. But before we check out the rear leg room, huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below to this one in particular in the description. But without the tinted back glass here, it's very easy to see this window sticker. So it stickers right at 52,795. You can see the rear axle ratio we have. Let's go ahead and hop in this back seat. You can already tell there's tons of space in here. So being 6'3" and having that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, several inches of headroom, legs are perfectly fine. I do have longer legs here. And then even my wider stature, I'm not even touching this middle seat here, which seems to be just as wide as the outboard seats, which you don't see in a lot of vehicles. Love that we have the rear AC vents for the back as well. Now we don't have the seat back pockets on either side, which is kind of a bummer. We don't have the bottle holder that comes out either. But we do have the premium reading lights, which is interesting. I'm glad they did that, but we also have tons of room to hold our shirts there. Now one big plus is that we do get this big bottle holder right here for either side. Just that middle passenger would have to hold their cup. But for storage, you can put plenty of stuff underneath the seat. And then we even have anchors for car seats here. Bed step here, so we can use that to step up and get to the back here without any issue. And then fuel fillers here. And with this being the 6.6 liter, just standard V8, we can put gas in. Don't have to worry about diesel. Now coming around to this back end here, pretty much a carryover. Looks exactly like the back of a 1500. And then tow hitch there, exhaust, spare underneath. And then just a standard tailgate. Now as we come back around to the front passenger side, same adjustability as that driver's side, just having the seat back manually adjusted as well as the seat bottom. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. So we have our lockable glove compartment here. with owner's manuals, top, extra storage there. And then there's the badge. I like how they did the badging so that you know this does have that 10-speed Allison in it, even though it just has the gas-powered engine. But let's go ahead and pop the hood. Mostly covered up there, but there's a 6.6 liter V8 underneath there. And you could probably do some crazy stuff with the gas-powered engine because, you know, the truck's made to fit the Duramax and everything that comes with it. And that V8 doesn't have turbocharger to deal with and everything there, so just a thought. Ooh. So here's the steering wheel here, vinyl wrapped. There's the horn. And if you all want to look at the tow mirrors, there's that there. Now I'm already seeing we have an adjustment for the forward collision alert, but I don't see any cruise control, so that is something. But anyways, we do get AM, FM, Bluetooth audio. We also get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, even with this 8-inch screen here, or 7-inch screen, so that's pretty cool. Then we can adjust our language there, add phones, walks you right through it on your device, Wi-Fi hotspots. Apps are there. And we do have the rear seat reminder, buckle to drive, and team driver, which is pretty neat. Then trailer light test. And there's the home screen there. You can hit that for the phone, adjust audio here, click there to mute, hold it to power the whole system down. You can use this to seek if you want to. Now down here, we have single zone manual climate control, so we can adjust fan speed here, click to turn the whole system off, adjust temperature there, AC toggle, fan directions, and then defroster there. And there's the backup camera there, guidelines, follow you as you turn the steering wheel. Forgot that little storage pocket up there. And then we have the lane departure system, which comes standard, hazards, and then the traction control toggle there. 12 volt, USB-C and a USB-A input there. And then in the middle seat here, bottle holders, center console cubby space, a few additional pockets, and then you can lean this up, make it a 6th seat, and then to pull it back down, just pull this strap here, and then you have a center console space again. There's a view of the back. LED reading lights up here. There's a vanity mirror. At least we get a vanity mirror this year. Now for the windshield wipers, first of all, the automatic high beams can be toggled there. There's one time, all the intermittents, then you have low, high for the windshield wipers, and then you hit this button here for the windshield wiper fluid. When the headlamps are on, you can toggle the high beams there, flash there. And then for the shifter, just pull down, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you have low, and in that low gear, you can manually shift up or down there, and it'll show you what gear you're in that bottom right hand corner of the digital gauge cluster, the digital portion of that gauge cluster, excuse me. And then over here we can go through, just scrolling with this knob, we can see all of our different options there. So quite a bit going on. Now I do wish we could see the fuel economy, but it's looking like we can't. So I can see the average there, but oh well. Push button starts here. Finally, here's the key fob. And this one should be interesting. Let's go ahead and take this 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 single rear wheel work truck out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 3500 single rear wheel, of course with it being a heavy duty truck, it drives like a heavy duty truck. And with the basic interior, you can pretty much feel the ride, if that makes sense. So you're not getting the comfort of heated, cooled, adjustable seats and all of that, but especially for the price point and for a work truck, does a pretty good job. And the 6.6 liter gas engine, especially without having a load or anything, it puts power down pretty nicely. Now, of course, it's not the Duramax, but specifically with the 10-speed, I just feel like I'm getting more out of the engine in terms of fuel economy, but also power output. Now, I'm not going to floor it here, but I'm going to put my foot down a little bit. And just seamlessly getting up to speed here. Now, I am quite a bit disappointed that we don't have the cruise control added on this one in particular, but especially if you're just doing a lot of pulling or a lot of driving around town, you probably won't miss it. Me personally, it's kind of annoying because I've got a forward collision indicator or a follow distance indicator. I have a lane departure system, but I don't have cruise control. So it feels like kind of a nuisance, but I mean, it's nice to have these other features, especially for this price point. I just would have rather had cruise control. Now, wind noise is just a tad bit intrusive. The sun's going down and it's getting windier outside, but traveling here at the speed limit, a bit loud. I like the loudness of the engine though. It just sounds strong, and not hearing the tires too much. And for a full-size heavy-duty truck, can't complain about the overall driving dynamics here. It's easy to drive, and especially with not having a dual rear wheel, it's pretty easy to stay in the lines in general. Now again, this naturally aspirated V8, this gas engine, does have quite a bit of pull, and though it isn't a Duramax because you don't have that turbo pulling it, it feels about the same when I come out of corners based on my throttle response. I'm just not feeling a pull from the turbo. I'm not hearing a sound. And of course, you're paying usually an extra 9 to 10 grand, I think, for a Duramax package. So unless you necessarily need the diesel for the extra pulling power, long term, the gas engine will be more than enough, I think. Especially if you're pulling like Titan XD loads, so like right above what you should be pulling with a half-ton pickup. It's good to go with the gas engine, and then with the 3500 having the beefier springs and suspension, you're able to tow that maximum weight I showed earlier, which was like 19,000 pounds, I believe. But from a practicality standpoint, especially if you're going to be doing nothing but working and not necessarily going longer distances, I think the manual seats will be fine. Having the vinyl interior and the vinyl floors is a big plus. And then just having the standard safety and technology features. You still have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. You have your climate controls. You don't have blind spot monitors, but you have the trailering mirrors, and even just push button start. I feel like you get a lot for the money when it comes to having a truck that can move a lot of weight, if you will. And I mean, the ride is more comfortable than I'm used to in a dually. I'm actually surprised this is ridden as well as it has. But we do have the 18-inch steel wheels, the single rear wheel configuration, so that probably has something to do with it. But for around that $50,000 to $55,000 price point, definitely no disappointment. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Silverado 3500 single rear wheel work truck.